We are back from the 2026 Danish Nationals after getting first in Swiss and getting that top 4. We had some pretty interesting and variety of matchups, but let's get into the deck profile and the thoughts behind it. So for the main deck, we are playing the, well, more or less mandatory 3 of Crozea, 3 of Sven, and well, technically 4 of Eldam. Still like the Shield Bearer. It plays a little bit into role, but I feel like it's still worthy now that we lost a little bit of our consistency. Playing one each of the big Radiant Typhoons. I've seen some lists playing the second of the Great Flame, but I still feel like it's iffy to play more. It is a board breaker and it does help you to break boards, but I still feel like when going first, it can be a little bit, I don't want to say breaky, but you often die to one hand trap, so seeing another of the Phoenix doesn't really do much for me. We're playing one Megala, and, well, same reasons. We're playing the, what I feel like is more or less mandatory to Sheena. Came up a few times, but it's a great card nonetheless, just not really playing into anything. For hand traps, while we're being at monsters, I feel like the best hand trap in format was Droll and Lockbird, so of course we play that. And 2 of Ash. You will of course see the 3rd Ash in the side deck. And keeping it down to 40. I saw someone online talking about doing the 3rd Ash versus the Cold Buy, saying that the Cold Buy is more, well, it is stronger and often better to have. Of course, going second, the Ash does more than the Cold Buy, but the Cold Buy is still able to play, and it is a quick play spell. But we'll get back to the Cold Buy. For more mandatory stuff, 3 MST, the 3 Fallen Virtuous, and the 3 Droplets. The more or less best non-engine quick plays we can play at the moment. I opted to play Extravagance. I still feel like it's stronger, especially going first for some reason, than Super Poly is. I feel like I want to see consistency and build of course, my extra egg after that. Other than seeing Super Poly, I can see breaking boards is of course stronger, having Super Poly in, but I feel like the deck is fine on its own and don't really need the Super Poly. Though going into Euros soon, I think maybe I'll reconsider the Super Poly. But I definitely didn't miss the amount of times that I went first, having the Extravagance for extra draw. Talking of draw, 3 Vision, and the sadly one-off Chant. Of course also the Coldbuy. And now for the thing that I feel like is most discussed within the deck. Because I only wanted to play 1 Manifestation, 2 Ascendants. I see more and more play 2 Manifestation and 2 Ascendants, maybe even 3 Ascendants. At some points it does come up having Manifestation alongside with MST or Ascendants, but I still feel like Manifestation on its own is not enough combo. I do know it is also MST Searcher, but I still feel like of all of the Radiant cards we can play, it is the lesser one. And for the 40th card, we have the Mandate. I feel like Mandate is, of course, mandatory. And I feel like this is more or less the perfect 40. Going into next format, maybe considering other quick plays and the new pot that we're getting. But at the moment, I feel like this is the best deck to play. Well, the best way to play the deck. For the extract, of course, taking into that Extravagance, we do play 3 Albion, 1 Ecclesia. Feels pretty standard. I'm playing the SP. It has come up in testing and I feel like it's pretty good. Pretty clean going into boards. But sad it didn't really need it during the event. But I still think it's worthy a spot. We're playing 3 Varun. Again, Super Poly. Sorry, not Super Poly, Extravagance. We're playing 1 Wind, 1 Great Fly, 1 of the Doom Eagle. Again, of course, banishing these off of the Extravagance is not the best, but still does come up breaking boards and going for game. I played 1 Gossip Shadow, 1 Totem Bird, and 1 Interblathner. I've seen lists going for 2, because you do have the option to, especially with 2 Phoenix, to hand rip twice with Interblathner, but I don't really see him coming up often enough to actually warrant playing the second one. Hardly any times I've been needing more than one, even needing the one Interblathner. Also, I feel like having the monster negate in the graveyard at the start of the opponent's turn feels bad, because it forces you to activate your MST before you actually need it, and possibly losing a negate for the monster negate. So I feel like that is worth more having the Varun, the monster negate, over hand ripping. Especially considering that it is one random hand rip. And for the 15th card, we are playing Typhoon. Typhoon is pretty good for this deck. You can actually, it came up during the event where my opponent secret village me. I was able to normal summon, search MST, and then just put the Typhoon on, out 2 spellcasters, and play during my opponent's turn. Okay, came in pretty clutch for winning that game, I would say. For the side deck, which I was still considering changing, but I feel like, because I didn't see the Lunalight matchup, I feel like this was the best possible I could do. So we're playing 3 Fuvolas for going second. I have mained this earlier, but I feel like this is enough going second, often siding it for the Extravagance, doing almost the same. We're playing as much instinct as possible, of course siding in the Ash Blossom when we know we're going second, and siding in the Megalas when we know we're going first. More often than not, the Ash Blossom actually goes in instead of the Shield Bearer going first, just to avoid as much as possible playing into the draw. And the rest of the side deck is, Lightning Storm evenly to go second, siding in as much as possible to just destroy the opponent's board and try to play with the few cards we have left. And because I was scared of the Sky Striker and Brandon matchup, I ended up deciding to go for Accusation instead of Lava Golem. It didn't really come out much during the games. I think I had the Accusation once against a Mitsu player to stop them from using prayers for 2 turns, and winning that game. But I'm still not sold on it, because going first with this deck, I feel like just the Ash Blossoms and the Megala is enough. Thank you for watching, and see you next time. Bye.